Hey folks, RMSpeltz Farms and Reef DVMs coming at you here today on a much needed review. People have asked since our last milker video of what's our favorite milker. The previous video I made, which I'll put a link to down in the comments, you can go watch. It's a milker that I still have, but I have some faults with. This one, which has the ability to milk off of each side of itself, on and offs for each milker, an excellent pulsator on it, and the ability to pump into two different 1-gallon drums, which in our case we use one for waste and cleaning and one for putting our milk into. Plus, this filters as it pumps, so you don't have to pour it out. All you gotta do is replace that little piece of filter paper every time, and it works great. So again, go down to the bottom of the link if you'd like and watch the video on the milker that I have that I use just for specialty milking, freshing, or mastitis goats. And watch that if you want that opinion. But if you want to know the best milker in the barn, this is definitely it. The company that makes this is Simple Pulse. I'm not going to tell you these are cheap. I would be lying to you folks. These are a fairly decent, expensive milker. But I love the fact that, as you can see there, I can just pop off that black plug, pour it right out of the jar. This jar can go right into the fridge, and we can drink the milk out of it. It holds its own filter cups in the device. It has a beautiful, I don't know what this is, polyethylene tray that holds everything, and great claws with push-button action in the back, which they can come vented or unvented. It's got excellent, thick silicone tubing with a nice wide diameter. It's not thin, and again, it's got the ability to milk on each side. I have it set up for only one milker with cleaning supplies, as you can see on the left side, that we use to clean out the line and so forth. To me, this machine has so many advantages. For the small milker and the small milking operation, first of all, it has 2 containers and you can milk 2 goats. Second thing is you can shut off one side like we're doing here and just use one side to milk. Third option this thing's got is the ability to put waste on one side and good milk on the other, which allows you quick and fast cleaning. Fourth thing that I love about this thing is the big lines and the excellent claws and the excellent inflator buttons and so forth at the bottom. This machine is built. It's got a water trap on it so you can't overdo it and wreck your pump. It's fairly quiet. It can be mounted on the floor. It can be mounted on wheels. It can hang on the wall. They've thought of so many different things with this milker. It's worth the money, especially if you're milking every day, day in, day out, on a farm. And this thing will milk for cows. It'll obviously milk for the goats here. So it's made for the smaller, sustainable homestead, the small farmer, the small hobby farmer. Here we're just going to, by the way, put the grain in the bin, and we're gonna milk out one of the alpines for you so you can just see how it works. I'm not the best at the split spring, but I'm going to try and show it. This is Candy. She's a well-trained goat. My daughter let her out from a back aisle, and she walked up here. So if you're wondering where she came from, that's where she came from. Putting a new container there. My wife's going to hook up the line that goes into the container and the line that goes into the pulsator, and pretty much we're set to go. Now we've cleaned our lines and let them drain prior to this milking. We're just going to clean off the goat here with some really special wipes that we use to make sure that we get our hygiene where we want it. So this milking line is clean. We have several milking lines on the farm. I think there's 2 or 3, which allows us to switch them out each week and clean one while we're switching it out. That I would highly recommend too. It just makes things a lot simpler. So here she's just going to strip some milk out. Just for safety's sake, we're going to get it out of those canals in case there's anything bad in there. Then we're going to milk. She will pull probably right now with Candy a half gallon out of her here tonight. And it'll probably take with this milker about 3 minutes or less. It's very easy to milk with this milker as far as releasing it. These are the non-vented claws, so you've got to release them up top or push the button on the bottom, whichever way you feel more comfortable. As you watch the first container on the right, you can see the milk pumping into it there. It's pumping in quite easily and freely. The goat, as you can see in the bottom view, is just, eating away, and I'm filming there from the side, so you actually can kind of get a viewpoint of where I'm filming from too. The milk just pulsates in. It's just fantastic. Now remember, this milk is being filtered in that blue cap, so it saves a whole step. I just absolutely love that. If anybody said to me, what's the downside of this Smelker? Well, the only downside is these are gallon jars with 4-inch openings. They're not the standard canning lid openings. I wish they were, folks. But the device that sits on top that does the filtering is larger than 3-inch diameter. So it obviously has to go in a bigger jar, so they have 4-inch jars. Not that that's a killer, but again, it doesn't fit your traditional canning jar. Now, the older Simple Pulse milkers did, but not the newer one. I'd highly recommend you just get used to the 4-inch diameter because of the fact that this milker is so nice that it filters at the same time. I get that it's an investment, but it's well worth it. There's no video cut out here, folks, so you can actually watch the time on your computer, and you can see it doesn't take us long to get this milking done. It's a fairly simple process, and it milks out the goat pretty much effortlessly and painlessly. I mean, she's doing just fine. She's eating away. She isn't minding this at all. We never leave a goat unattended, typically in the stand, for more than just, a head turn or quick grab, something right off the milker or something. But with this goat, it's just perfect. As far as, cleaning this, I'm going to show you what we do at least on a daily basis, twice a day to clean it. She's just lifting the lines here to make sure all the milk goes into the container. You don't have to do that. You can waste those few drops, but my wife likes to keep it all. So she's going to shut off the machine here, and she's going to basically do a quick clean out. We do this morning and night on our lines. Weekly or every other week, I'd highly suggest you take off your lines, clean a set, and put a new set on. We do a post-op wipe on our goats. I know a lot of people use a spray. I don't really like to breathe the spray, and I don't like some of the chemicals in it, so we use, just like I said, special milker wipes that we like. At this point now, she's got the milk line hooked up to the waste container, which is just two simple tubes to move over. She's going to bring her waste container in. Now this container is made up of a hygienic solution. You can use a hydrogen peroxide, you can use a bleach solution, or you can use a milking line solution. I'm not really picky on what we use, but my wife has got a product she likes, and we just go with that. And what she's basically going to do here is she's going to put the claws into that bucket, and she's going to pulsate on the back of these things. They're sucking 24/7, the machine's on, and she's pulsating to get the water to swish inside the lines and remove as much milk as we can. She's probably swishing through about a half gallon there, and we do this morning and night. This disinfects the line, and cleans out all the milk, helps keep the milk stone away, even though we still, every other week or weekly, have to do a deep vinegar wash on these lines. And that's pretty much the cleaning process. Now what she's going to do is, you're going to see here, she's going to put the tubes back in their proper holders. What's nice about that is it allows the ends to drain. She then is going to put the milk line there up top, just to kind of drain the last little bit of cleaning solution out, and then she's going to leave it over the rack and hang the claws down towards the bottom, so again, anything can drain out that needs to. And that's pretty much the milking for the milker. Now, we wouldn't have done the cleaning if we had 3 or 4 more goats to do, but right now we just have this goat to do, so she just cleaned it out. This goat would typically be done eating here in a minute or two, so when she's done, we'll let her off the stand. We do, like a lot of farms, we only feed them on the stand. They're special treat. It keeps them coming up on the stand real easy, real aggressively. This goat will come from literally 100 feet away to get up on that stand if she's got an option, because she knows that treat is that good. Then when we're done, we'll just let her go, and she'll go back, and we'll go take our milk in and get it cold and refrigerated right away. And again, if you want, you can leave it right in this container. It works perfect for pouring and stuff. Just have a couple of these around so you can switch out between your milkings, and it works excellent. I'd highly recommend this milker. Like I said, drawbacks on it would maybe be the 4-inch jar size if you're used to using canning jars. And of course, the other drawback is always cost. But the efficiency of it, the modularness of it, where it can go on the floor, it can go on a wheeled cart, it can go on the wall, its strength, its good pump, and the ability to milk 2 goats at once, and or to switch lines very efficiently and easily with big, thick, heavy lines, and nothing that's hard to lift. Lifting a gallon of milk is not bad, folks. This is the best milker that we feel is on the market, and we think it works great for us. We appreciate you liking. Please watch and subscribe to our video channel and watch our homestead as we work through our sustainability and growing. Thank you, folks.